Are you got it? Why don't you start that again?
Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and my guest and co-host is Jason D. McKean, and he is the voice of over 1 million Om recordings throughout the world. And let's see, let's name them: Om Eternity,
Mm-hmm.
Om Indigenous,
Mm-hmm.
Om Sanctuary,
Yeah.
Eternal Om,
Yeah.
Om Beats.
Yeah.
Let's see, 108 Sacred Ohms.
108 Sacred Ohms.
And
Om Serenity.
Om Serenity.
Om Cosmos.
Om Cosmos.
And Om Shiva Shakti Namaha.
I love it. Yes. And he has meditations also that are Om meditations on to like stop smoking and how to cope in the now, which we are going to do a show on right now, is staying present.
That's
but
right.
He has that whole list of meditations. Yeah.
Yes,
and some new
attuned.
books.
I have, I just got this one for myself. It's another journal. So it's, it's like you fill it in, right? It's a
Right.
journal, but it's like my other one is specifically for a 3-card spread.
Yes.
This is for, it's a lot more open-ended. It allows you to be flexible if you want to just pull 1 card for yourself, if you want to do a Celtic cross for yourself. There's the space, and it's all about having this inviting form, rather than it just being like a blank notebook or whatever. It has alchemical images, it has like the magical symbols and all, and it gives you some shortcut symbols too to be able to use when you're pulling for yourself, and you don't want to write out words like Hierophant. It's like, how do you even spell Hierophant, right?
Yes. How? I love it.
Yeah.
The Hierophant. Yes.
So it's all on Amazon, all at my website, jasondmckean.com.
Great. Thank you, Jason. So yeah, we're in the now. So that was in the now. That's what your new projects have been.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I feel that being creative is like it's just something that one does in the moment, right? It's like you have the inspiration in the moment, and so you activate it, and it's all about activating your creative energy.
It's all about activation, life force activation. Those
are your titles.
Those are titles of mine. Yes.
Yeah.
Many years of activation. It's important to activate our lives.
Muy importante.
Muy importante. So we're gonna talk about attuning to the present while in the knowing of the past and future. And so I got really quite wordy last night, and also did a whole 7 steps of mindfulness last night. So I'll put that out later.
So you're going to lay out the whole 7 steps for
being mindful.
Oneself?
Well, just not the whole attunement. It's just to start moving your body into a present state, because that's really where we need to catch ourselves, is how are we going into a present state and staying there, because we can get so locked up in so many different areas, as we all know.
Yeah, it's like we have our perception of the past.
Yes.
We have our experience of it, and we can be locked up in it if that happens. Usually that happens with like significant or even traumatic events, where we just keep reliving it, keep replaying it and all. It's like, what could I have done differently? Or it's just like it remains like this screen that's in front of you, and you're just, locked into watching it and replaying it. It's like the past is very powerful. And on the other side of that, right, is the future,
Yes.
which, we can have our hopes, our dreams, and what we're working towards. And there can be a lot of what ifs. It's like, well, if I do this, and maybe that'll happen. And if I, move in this way, then this can happen and open up this. And, it's like it can create like this other screen that we're watching all these possibilities in. And then, in between those two screens is our present self. And, how do we get into that space of knowing that, we can, we don't have to just keep following the same patterns of the past, that we can, move forward into the future, that at some point we have to act. We can't just like create a numerous amount of possibility and then be stymied by it, be paralyzed by the, like, well, what do I do? Which one? It's like we go forward. We learn to trust ourselves. We learn to give permission to ourselves to move forward. And I feel that when we're cultivating that part of ourselves, through mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is where we have that awareness and of our potential, but we know that we need to activate it, that we do need to like move forward on it.
We do. Yeah. I mean, if we know, I mean, what happens is so many people are under anxiousness and stress, that the media keeps everybody kind of on, and it's almost like gossip, it's like keeping everybody on their toes. And the bottom line is when are you going to take care of yourself? When are you going to just tune in, tune out all the noise, all the external noise, and really, bless this body that you were given a really chance with on the planet? We have opportunities. So how are we going to develop those opportunities? How are we going to go forward in our lives? How? If we're not like centering ourselves and not quieting our mind. I find that when, we talk about too much the past, or, like it's all about really reliving and loving the past. It isn't about all the things that happened to us. Those are to help us grow. So how do we grow from all of it? We grow because, this is our soul mission, is to grow. So how are you going to grow? Are you going to be anxious, scared, fearful of the future? Or are you going to take control, be in your calm, incredible self, and develop what you want to have, who you want to be, why you want to be it? And it doesn't matter if you're 10 or 89, it doesn't matter. You can be in your 90s too. Yeah. It's just taking control of your stress level.
I've been having this incredible experience with this 94-year-old author who's just published his first book.
Oh my
gosh,
at 94. How fun.
And he's fortunate to have a very cognizant mind, and sharp as a tack and all. And it's like an amazing accomplishment, to do that. And it's there is no limits as far as that type of experience.
Good for him. What kind of book did he publish? Is it like a memoir, or is it
it's not a memoir. It's like a romantic action.
Wow,
it's historical. It mixes like historical figures in there, but in a fictionalized manner. And it's very involved. It's like a lot of stuff going on in it. And it encompasses you know, the past, again, like historical events, but you know, just kind of fun stuff too, as far as Hollywood of the 30s and all. So it's
Gosh.
a really you know, fantastic novel. Um, but I mean, what you're saying, right? As far as like when you activate something, you know,
Mhm.
inside yourself, it's like, you know, you have to do the work of it. You
Mhm.
know, it's like you,
Yeah, we have to progress.
yeah, it's like you move it out of your system. You know, like
Mhm.
any writer knows, it's like you can't just keep it locked up in your head. You have to you know, express it. You have to either write it
Right.
longhand or type it out or whatever.
And it seems, like such hard work. It's like, oh, expel it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Locked up.
also, you know, when you're activating something, right? It's like you're signaling the universe too, that you're in that, you're ready. You're saying, you know, I am ready to become this person that,
Right.
you know, that I know myself to be within. But you know, it's like we complete ourselves by moving that energy out into the world too,
Mhm.
and manifesting it.
Yeah, manifesting it as graceful as possible. And it's wonderful that I mean, what a privilege to work with this man and who's so cognizant and is able to, have a dream come true.
Yeah.
It's maybe one of his bucket lists,
Oh,
accomplishments.
absolutely, absolutely.
I mean,
And
that's really great.
what was like really significant to him too, because he just turned 94, and we had a butterfly that was emerged from
Mhm.
its chrysalis, and and we named it, was a male butterfly. We named it after
Right.
him, and he found that metaphor was just incredible. You know,
Um,
it was like the Shakespearean moment of to be or not to be. You know, that
mm, right.
his transformational doppelganger was like released out into the world.
Yes. That's
You know,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Not
so
everyone gets a butterfly named after them, right?
right. I don't know if I have actually. Yeah.
No, I maybe.
No,
You
not
know,
that I've
maybe why
seen.
not is because it's not butterfly season around your
Mm,
birthday, right?
right, right.
It's very
Because
rare that,
or you get to name a butterfly. You
yeah,
know, Everest has gotten to name a few. Yeah,
yeah,
my little granddaughter. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Mhm.
you know, the idea of being in the now,
Yeah.
calming oneself, you know, like
Mhm.
centering oneself. What you have like some tips, right? You got
Mhm.
stuff for attuning.
Yeah, tuning, well, becoming mindful. I had written a good list like sit and stand comfortably with your eyes shut or gazing for a few moments.
Can I ask
Minute.
you,
Yeah.
like, before that, right? It's like,
Yeah.
how would you um, describe mindfulness?
Mindfulness is to create a resolve within you. And so it's to know when you're starting to kind of get into an agitated state is to bring yourself back. And maybe you're not agitated at all, but you need to, just bring into a center yourself. So you do it several times a day. And when you get in the habit of it, because it can become a nice habit, is all you're doing is you're bringing your mindfulness back into place. It's not really meditation. It's it's like more of a moment, some moments or a minute. It's not like you're wasting your day on, because a lot of people think that meditation, takes a lot of work like exercise. Doesn't. You can do it when you wake up, you can do it when you go to sleep at night, or you can do it during the day when you need to rest. Everybody kind of needs to rest a little, for that siesta in the afternoon, just a couple minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes
Mhm.
meditation, but mindfulness. So Mindfulness makes it even easier. So the thing is just coming back into resonance. Like, okay,
And again, with that mindfulness, because you have those two words like mind and full, right? But
yes,
it's not necessarily where
no,
you're just like looking to cram, a lot into your
no,
head. It's almost like the opposite of that, right? Where you're looking to take anything that feels like it's unneeded stress, or
right.
the pressures of maybe what one has put on their agenda. It's like, oh, I got to do this and this and this and this and this,
Well,
where it's
you,
like kind of a
yes,
sorting out of that, so one is not
true.
just operating in a chaos.
Right. Or you can change your viewpoint and say your mind wants to be full of like light or the God energy in your body too. So you could be full mind and full, and your body being full of light and the God energy.
Hmm.
So you may like reposition it that way,
Okay.
because everything's a repositioning of your viewpoint, reframing. So yeah, it's to listen easily and gently to where you are and your environment around you. So where we're at this moment. And remember to let the noise calm you. Instead of allowing noise to be you know, somebody's has some kind of buzzsaw out there somewhere. So do I let it bother me, or do I let it just calm me because it's the natural sounds of whatever, however people are making a living and working. And so, instead of being irritated by traffic or the city or birds chirping, some people don't like birds chirping. So, you just reframe it, let the noise calm you, and letting your viewpoint change about things, like having a better perspective on things. We have a better perspective.
I'm already calmed by that.
Yeah. Right. Right. I mean, because the bottom line is we let little things irritate us. Is like, why? Why? Just because we want to be irritated? Yeah, they have no meaning. It doesn't matter. I mean, luckily, a lot of times the noise isn't like killing your ears. I mean, you just hope and pray for somebody else that if that's how they're making their living, that, like this buzzsaw I'm hearing, I'm hoping they're wearing ear protection. Because, you don't want somebody to be deaf as they're old just because they're doing a job for something that's, usually kind of meaningless. So,
As a musician, like a young musician,
yeah.
I would always use earplugs, even if I had
Mm-hmm.
to wad up like tissue, and put it in my
Mm-hmm.
ears.
Yeah, me
And
too.
thank the gods, that I did that, because, at my age,
Mm-hmm.
it's like my ears are, very perceptive. And, that I can't say the same for, a lot of my peers and all, who are like,
Right.
what, speak up.
Right. Right.
you know,
Right. And like, I don't wear glasses and, the same thing, but I believe it's meditation. I do a lot of meditation. And so I keep in the resonance of my eyesight, hearing gets better and better, skin is good, health is great.
yeah, it's like,
Everybody's going forward on my body, the cells.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does extend to the entire, physical temple,
Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah. And so it's not looking too inward either, to where you can't, acknowledge the outside, because there's a thing too where people think that if you're doing meditation that you have to be in calmness at all times, that you can't really interact with the other people, which isn't true. It should be that your energy is calming and peaceful to others, and they should be, you should be giving them some light. You don't have to give them, anything. Just give them some light. Just, wish them well. And, that's always a good thing.
yeah, it's, but something you said earlier about how, the present, when you are in the present, that that is the place to be in order to, acknowledge where things can change. If you have recognized patterns or habits in yourself that they're not desirable, right?
Right.
If you've seen that, and yet you feel like, oh, how am I going to make progress on that? It's like it's in the present that progress is made by making a choice whenever you feel like, oh, this is now when I start doing that habit. It's like
Mhm.
it can be a thought, right? It can be a physical habit, picking up a cigarette, or whatever, right? It's like I go into like a flurry of curse words now. Anything that you're looking to just kind of change up, right?
Right.
And it's like catching yourself in that moment and saying, I have a choice. I have a choice. And what can I do right now to start to make that shift? It may not be the full thing, right? It may not be, but it can be a start. Most
Yeah.
change, significant change, is just it can be gradual, but we have to catch ourselves in the present,
Yes.
and reaffirm that identity of who it is that we're wanting to become.
Mhm.
And and it may be getting back to a core self, something that we may feel that we haven't been that person in a long time.
Right.
And it's like I want to go back to being that reassured person, that confident person.
Mhm.
It's like the patterns of the world, they can throw you off balance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
And
Course.
to
We can be so upset about things that are beyond our control, but that are terrible tragedies in life. I mean, we can be totally, terrorized by them. And
yeah
so it's not to be in fear. It's like, where's, where's we need to always step up for others' mercy. I mean, that is true. So my thought on getting back into like the spark of life is when you're somewhere that you really love and you want to remember it, because I can be very busy and in my life. And is I like to um, be in a place where I'm taking in 360 degrees. So I'll make a full turn and tell myself to remember this.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I do it all the time. Yeah, that I really wanna remember this amazing moment. Yeah. So I just, like it's in my memory bank. I wanna remember.
yeah
But
that's amazing.
yeah, so good things. I wanna remember all the fun things I did with my kids, you know? When they were kids, they were so much fun. I always say, kids, well, and people in general, can be entertainment or a burden. So take your pick. And they're not always entertaining, but, at the moment you think, okay, I've taken my choice.
Right. So it's like you're spinning around them, you're going, "Brrr, I'm taking it in, kids."
Yeah. Yeah. And now, not too
Uh-oh,
quick.
mom is spinning again.
No, their big thing was, their big thing when they were teenagers, especially the younger ones, was they'd have a lot of kids over and I would wave my hands. And whenever I waved my hand, they were freaking out. Oh my God, she waved her hand. Because I would say everybody has to go home by 11 o'clock. Yeah. And stuff like that. Everybody out. Bye. And they're like, oh God, she's waving her hand again. Tearing that waving her hand. Yeah.
But it got him out.
Oh yeah. They all left. Yeah, but that was my way of getting them out. I call it the power of a mother. Right. There's many, I should write a book about it someday. The power of a mother. The tricks I used to pull.
It's a great title.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But oh gosh, like Hunter's friends would say, Tara, read my mind, like from the back seat of the car. And then I would read it and they would be like, it's reading my mind. Oh my God, your mom get it. It's okay. We're going to drop you off soon. I won't read everything in your mind. Yeah.
So
it was the now. It was the now.
But looking at, because, how, we described this particular episode, right? It's like,
Yes.
knowing the past, right? But also,
Yeah.
having a knowledge of the future as well.
You're right.
And it as, attuned individuals, right? Where, like knowing ahead, like being able to look ahead. It's like, to, again, not be so caught up in it that one doesn't just stay grounded, right? Stay
Right.
present. And with sensitive individuals, it's like, one can know what's up ahead, right? And that can, be it's a guidepost, certainly, but it's like, it's important to not get, too like, where you're operating in that realm and not staying in the present, so you don't trip up, right? It's like, if you're imagining yourself, already up at the top of the stairs, it's like you still got to climb the stairs, right? It's like, don't trip and fall on the stairs,
Right. We'll
as
take
you're
that
going.
mindfulness, because a lot of times we get into that, where we're moving too fast. We're not in our center. So, we don't want accidents to happen. We want to be staying present. We want to be, doing our best selves. Yeah, and the accidents, boy, they sure can happen fast. I mean, I almost had one last week, horse accident. I'm just like, are you kidding? Yeah, I mean, thank God, that nothing came of it, but it was just like, it could have been like a, it was just like that close to being a problem.
Yeah.
But that's me and horses. I'm always been, obsessed. Love my horses. Love my horse. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that no accident occurred.
No, me too, because it's just ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, because I did have a horse accident last summer. That, where I heard a person say they were going to die 3 times. And I went, oh my God, why do I have to be here now? Because of course I hear that on a whole deeper level, right? So I thankfully not on my phone or anything, and I was on the off side, because if I would have been on the on side, that would have been a real bad move too. But so I said, oh, do you want me to hold your horse while you get on? Which you're not really supposed to do. You can, if they go wild, it's easier for the rider on top to jump off. But no, I held him, and he all of a sudden reared, and it happened so fast. The legs were in front of me. He couldn't put them out because my body was blocking him, and I was in the air with him on my arm. And so, luckily I'm strong, because it just frayed my shoulder and didn't, tear my rotator cuff. So anyway, it was just, and then, the whole, through her, was going to land on her. And that's where I hurt my arm, because I jerked him, and just to throw him off balance so that he was stumbling the other way, and then I let go. So yeah, it was crazy.
Well, people will say things, as a kind of a cosmic joke.
Yeah, it was a
It's like,
cosmic joke.
and yet, when you do hear things like that, and it's like, uh
Yeah.
being a counselor, it's like, what do is you listen to people, but you don't just listen to what they're saying, you listen to the energy
Yeah, the
behind
deeper
what they're
level.
saying.
Right.
Right. And so I find that I always, uh what will catch people, when they say something that is meant to be flippant, or they don't necessarily realize that um they're saying something that feels like it's like written in stone for them. Like,
Right.
if they say something like, well, I'm always, unlucky, in that area, or
Yeah, don't ever say stuff like
something
that.
where it's like, wait, stop, did you just hear yourself?
Mhm.
And is this one of those patterns, that's ingrained,
Yeah.
that is at the core of, holding you back in life?
Right, self-deprecating.
Yeah. Is it something that is, a signal for something deeper,
Right.
that one can, you know, put into their awareness, so that they can catch themselves and say, yeah, oh yeah, I just said that again about myself.
Mhm.
And, is how true is that really? You know,
Mhm.
it's like, we can have like, I remember being in speech class in seventh grade, and given a speech assignment in front of everyone, where it's like, okay, it's an improv, you have,
Right.
talk about, the weather patterns of South Africa,
Mhm.
and go, and it's just like, ba-da, 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 and for a long time, it was like, oh yeah, that I was terrible at that, so I don't want to do that again.
Right.
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 And it's, if you hold on to that, if you hold on to, past events that, created like a little bit of trauma for you, then it's like,
Mhm.
it can hold you back. And it's like, well,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I discovered that I am not that person who can go out in public and speak, because in seventh grade I was like in front of the class, and it was it was awful. Right.
Oh, wow, yeah, I've been there. I remember the times, I mean, I think everybody does, about being put on the spot at school and just melting. They didn't succeed at all in composure. Didn't succeed. And there's a lot of people who retalk them about themselves, with themselves, about what fights they've had and what they would have wanted to say, things like that. It's like, well, that's not really that's not really a good thing either. It's to
Mhm.
reframe everything and to go forward. Calm yourself, because everything is a shamanic sign. I talk to people about the shamanic signs all the time. It's my big thing. You have a problem, it's a shamanic sign. Where are you going to learn from it? Where is the pathway out? Go for it. You know, we don't hold on. Don't hold on to what holds you back. Don't do it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And the present is where, usually the heat is, right, as far as,
Mm,
like when someone
mhm,
is like in a confrontation, right, it's like either the
mhm.
the fight or flight,
Yeah, you can
all
be.
that stuff, that's where,
Mm,
one would make a choice to either stand up or pull back, right,
right.
to say what it is that they're needing to say, or they hold their
Hmm.
tongue, right.
Right.
And you know that is where one makes that choice in doing that. And it's like, to be able to, forgive oneself, right, to forgive an earlier version of yourself that didn't like just, take the hero's stand or the charge there and, go for everything. It's just like, this is, where one doesn't just get stuck in the past too, and
Mm,
define themselves as that person that did not act in that moment, or failed in that moment, right? It's like um you learn from it, you build on it, and you say, you know what,
mm,
that I definitely, can use some help in that area. So um as far as my seventh grade self, it's like I could say, it's like I'm going to take a speech class. I'm going to, learn how to think on my feet. I'm going to do some improv comedy or something, just to put yourself into situations where you're uh, recognizing that this is like an area that you can improve on, right?
mm.
And you don't allow for the past to define who it is that you are. And so in that moment when you're, coming into a place of mindfulness, it's like you're not cluttering your mind with an identity uh, of that the individual who wasn't able to rise to the task.
Right. Right. Well, and it's interesting, because I know that, like the radio, I talk about that when I first started, uh, you know, even in the early 90s, Andrew Brewer would want me to be on his radio show, and at the time, it's all you're on the radio, you're live, you're going out there, and I would be terrified, just terrified to speak because it's not like I didn't have a lot to talk about. It's just that, my in-depth metaphysics and divination systems and occult knowledge is not necessarily real easy to translate a lot of times.
Right.
And so I'm, and so with that, I'm not wanting to bore everybody, and I don't want to, pontificate on, myself really. But I've learned to slow down, release, the people do want to hear what you have to say. It's just to be calm and to, go forward. And sometimes, like bring on somebody like Jason. Jason is so smart and he's amazing. So, it makes my life fun to do a radio show with Jason.
I understand that communication is a pipeline, right? It's
Yeah,
your brain is just filled with like so much stuff. It's
right,
like there's a whole universe inside of our head, but we can't just like just put all of that out at once and where anyone can like understand it. So it's like it's this
right.
pipeline of clarity
Yeah.
that hopefully you can access while in the moment,
Hmm.
right? And I will tell you, it is a skill set that one
Yes.
that I've worked on for a long time. And some
Yes.
people have it naturally. They just like can get to the point, and it's a natural ability. And for me, it's one of you know not caring so much about if anyone is like, are they really interested in that? I don't care. It's like you get over yourself in that way, right? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I'm the tarot
Totally.
wizard, damn it. And I, this is what I know, and this is how
Right.
it's gonna go.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so there, that's a permission, right? That one gives themselves
Right. That's a
to
permission.
own what they know, and to in this time that we have on the planet, while I have a voice, is to put it out there. And
Right.
and I know the same is true with you, right?
Right. Yeah, because so many people, they'll tell me, well, I have it in here, I have it locked in my head. But, we were just talking about someone, somebody who I'm working with, and how their mother was such an incredible astrologer. And she always wanted to write a book and leave her blueprint of what she knew, and she didn't do it. And so she lost it. She's now mentally not with it anymore, and so the work never got put on paper. So, you just think, oh, it's here, I'm gonna, but it's nice to share. So, and with that, I am doing, I started Star Love Astrology School with Matthew Engel. And so we are doing lectures right now. And so we've had some really great, we're deciphering all sorts of fun stuff. So as we lecture, it teaches everybody else who either wants to be, who are interested in astrology or who like the subject to come in, and they will be available through Teachable. So, yeah.
So that's like teachable.com or something like that.
Yeah, I'll put it out when it's all up and ready.
Great.
There's a few already ready, so, I'll make those available.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
else did you have on your list as far as
Oh, yes, let's see. So you're to give yourself, let's see. If you start to challenge and chatter at yourself, bring your attention back to something lovely or positive. No judgment, gossip, disharmony, or bills. No bills. Yeah, they don't matter in this moment. So when you're trying to reframe yourself, you're not supposed to be worrying about everything. You're supposed to let it go. Because we have plenty of time for that. That's an hour, somewhere in the day to accomplish that. It's not about sitting around and worrying about that. Remember, the earth works for you. You don't really work for it. You allow yourself to reframe that everything is in service for you. And then when you do, life becomes easier. Yeah. So you're not enslaved. No, there's services that you like and you want. You want electricity. You want water in your house. You want them. Yeah. It's to serve you. So, any add on that, or do you want me to go to the next one?
Oh no, I'm all for that. It's
Mhm.
like there's like fundamentals, there's basics and all, but these are
Yeah.
things that will like kind of deal with throughout our life, and it's not it's never engraved on our tombstone, right? It was like, here lies so and so, they were prompt in paying their bills. They were faithful to PG&E. It was like that's not what people remember you for.
No. No, but they might like your detail orientation of things, you know. Hey, because, I have to say that when our mom, went in the hospital last year, and it was the 1st of June, actually. So it was
That's
a
last
year
year.
ago. Yeah. And some of her bills hadn't been paid, and boy, is she organized. Boy, good luck. I decided to check out.
It might her epitaph someday may say it's like she
Oh,
was
the best
loved,
mom ever.
but no, well,
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you're like wanting to get on her good side there, with the cookies
Jam
and
and cookies.
jam, but yeah, it's like her electricity provider will like be happy with her. you know
Yeah, she doesn't incur any of that kind of karma for sure.
right.
Not that I have either, but it's the bottom line is that, you don't have to, anything. It all works for you. You're
Happy
in
birthday, Mom,
you're
by
in
the way.
harmony. Yeah. Happy birthday,
I hope
Mom.
that won me some points there.
He's winning points now. Okay, on to the next on the next
All
one.
right.
All right. So you are to give yourself a sweet talk and say, I've got this. Keep smiling, dare to be different. There are solutions near, be the bigger person. You are strong. Life is beautiful. Life is an adventure, that sort of thing. Because give yourself a pep talk, just a line, because it's good. And it's good to have a mantra that's a pep talk. I got it. I can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
Power
agree with
on.
that.
Power on. Yeah. Life activation.
Yeah, whatever hits the button, that
Whatever
just
hits
like,
the
it's
button.
like, I can do this. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there's, that self-awareness that someone has in their own process as to how they activate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it totally works to do that pep talk and to build yourself up, and it's like, yes, 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 okay, and then you go do it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's a little bit more subtle than that, a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
gentle. It's like I think that we are um given a way of signaling ourselves when something needs to be done,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we can just have something in the forefront of our mind. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I got to do this. It's just like, I got to do this. And sometimes until we do it, it's like we don't let ourselves just get into a place of serenity or so. It's just like there can be things that's just like, I have to do this. And so it's almost like a surrender to that. The being heroic is not always just where you just put on your armor and you go out and face the demon, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's that gentle, okay, I'm going to do this now. And um it can be very subtle, but you're handling it. And so however it works for you, however yourself to be wired in that, allow for that, right?
Right.
Like, don't fight it. And but make progress.
Right. Just easily make progress. Doesn't have to be big steps. It's the little tiny steps. Being nice to yourself, looking in the mirror and saying, I'm going to have a good day. Don't have to say, oh, you're the most perfect, amazing person in the whole world. You can, and have a 5-minute talk with yourself in the mirror. It's just like, hey, I've got this. Power on you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So practice being mindful in different locations. Needing to regroup is normal, but it should be done a few times a day, so yeah. Like some people have a cup of tea and they're sitting and gazing at a nice, painting, or, even just sitting at their desk. But it's, or maybe you have a great view. So that would be nice. But the thing is just to allow yourself to be calm, peaceful, mindful, recentered, power on. Yeah. So, and you'll notice you'll have much more composure if you practice mindfulness. That I do contend will happen. We have a lot more composure. Like, yeah, this person's going cuckoo. Not stressed out. They're stressed out. Okay, how can I help? Don't have to kick them down. It's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Mhm.
Um, where can you be reached on the
I
internet?
am at www.tarainsight.com, TARAINSIGHT.com. And Jason, how about you?
My website is Jason D. McKean, JASONDMCKEAN.com. And on the Instagram, it's Jason Tarot Wizard. Facebook is Jason D. McKean. And I just came out again with a new book, a new workbook, a journal, tarot journal. And so there's two of them, a 3-card spread and a multi-card spread. And they are there for, to have this organized space so that you can do your readings and keep track of them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Lots of blessings, lots of love.
Thank you, Tara.
Happy
And
new moon.
everyone, happy Memorial Day for the Americans. And
Yes.
happy birthday, Mom.
And happy new moon. for everybody. And happy birthday, Mom.
Too late.